Thank you, one. Unfortunately, I cannot project that to big screen, so apologize for that. But basically what I try to do with you guys is the normal training session we have for our employees. The first time they're going to perform a strip and sit on the floors. So basically what we need to do first is the equipment we're going to use, right? So the equipment is obviously the buffer. Then we have to use a specific pads to perform the task, which is black pads and red pads. The idea of the color is because they identify how aggressive or abrasive is the pad. So black one will be the one to use to get rid of the seal, the old one, and then we use the red one to just to finish it up the floor. Then you need to use mop and bucket. And with the mop and bucket, we have to be careful because it has to be color coded, which means blue has to be for general areas. We cannot use red, which is for toilets, or green, which is for kitchens. Then you need to use a wet and dry vacuum to collect all the chemical from the floor, plus the stripper, plus the polish, and obviously the applicator to put the polish in on the floor, and the safety signs. So before you go to the site, you have to remove any furniture or any seats or anything that is in the floor to make the area free, and then you start to clean the area. So I drew some pictures for you. This job was completed last weekend, and we have a group of new staff, and we take advantage of this job to train them on site. This type of work obviously is hands-on, so will be supervisor, someone else that had experience before to perform the work, and also to instruct the rest of the staff. So as I mentioned, this is the area. So we clear all the area with all the furniture. We have just one inconvenience in this specific job, which was a big pool table. We cannot move from the side because it's quite heavy, so we have to walk around of that surface. So as I said before, we try to apply the chemical, and we try to use the buffer with the black pad to strip all the floor. As you can see, you have to be careful with this process. First of all, because the chemical is quite strong, so you have to have well ventilate the area. So you have to open doors and windows. If it's not, in that case, our staff has a mask to protect that. All right. So you can see one of the our staff doing it for the first time. So what we're doing is the training. We show them how is the way to do it, and then we just hands-on on the job and do it afterwards. The challenge of this job is not the middle of part of the floor itself. It's the corners. It's the hard part. Why? Because it's where the more dirt and polish is accumulated. So that, to give you an idea, just to do the big area, this was around 400 square meters. Just the middle, we done in around 3 hours. Took us 5 hours just to do the edges of the side, to get every single polish on the floor. After you've done that, you've been working in the area, you're using the stripper chemical. You have to be careful because you cannot walk to another area with the chemical on the shoes, because you can damage the other floors of the building. Which is, to give you an example, like the bleach works in a cloth. So if you have a touch with the bleach with a colored cloth, you will damage. Same thing. So in this occasion, we'll have to be very specific with employees and let them know that you have to clean your shoes before you go to another area, or you can damage the other areas. So after you apply the stripping, you have to clean it again. Make sure any of the chemical is not left in the floor, otherwise you're gonna damage the polish at the end. So now, before we have a very shiny, this is the table that I want to mention to you before. So we have a very shiny floor before. Now we have a floor that looks like we sand the floor off, all right? Which is okay. Some of the employees a little bit scared and they said, oh, we damaged? No, we don't. That's the process, correct process to do it. Like you can see, it's a little chemical there. And this is the guys. If you observe one of our staff, we teach them to use the extension cord, put it here in the shoulder. The reason is because when you do in the bathroom, you do it backwards. All right. If you left on the floor, you can trip a hazard and cause you injure yourself. So that's why you have to maintain the cord up in the shoulder. So all that type of technique is shown to them on the side. You can see here. Now, after we have made sure all the corners are clean and we are happy with the result, and we clean the floor, we have to let the floor dry, and then it's time to put the polish. So, I know it's hard for you guys to see, but this particular floor has a challenge is we cannot, when you put the polish, you have to make sure you cut the polish, which means what I try to say is if you're gonna